everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and we've got a very fun video today. It is September. We're going to be talking about economical sewing and how to make the most of our sewing hobby and be as financially smart as possible as we're going about it, which means a lot of things. But today, specifically, we're going to be talking about the pattern clubs that you can join, that various pattern designers have. It's like a monthly subscription type of deal, type thing. But before we get into our talk for today, today's Friday, and today I also feel like I'm kind of moved over here into the frame. Today's Friday, which means it's a Feature Friday for Love Notions, and today's Feature Friday is a great one as we start to get into really cooler or warmer weather, depending on which hemisphere you're in, and that is the boyfriend cardigan is on sale today only for $5. You can use the Tomcat10 code to get you an additional 10% off. It's a great price. This cardigan features a couple of different links. It features, you can do a hood, you can do just like the front band. It's just a great layering piece as we go into any of the transitional seasons. You know, make it in a lighter weight. It can be a great layering piece for spring as well as for fall. The hood, actually, the past couple of like ready to wear videos that I have done in transitional times, so like maybe last spring's and the previous fall, I was seeing those cardigans with hoods all over the place. So definitely one to grab if you don't have that one in your catalog quite yet. I've not made this one yet, but it is on my list. I love a good layering cardigan as any time of year, really. Whether it's I'm in air conditioning or just keeping me, the winter cold when I'm in my house. So can't go wrong with a good cardigan. This one's, I think, one of their top sellers. So I would definitely go grab that today if you're interested. Okay, let's talk about pattern clubs. And then I'm going to tell you what I'm standing in between. All right, so I've noticed, and I think it's a wonderful business model. I've noticed a few pattern companies that have started a subscription service of some sort where you get a pattern every single month. A lot of times they come with, like a little community where you have access to help, special help with the patterns or pattern hacking or, like a master class of some sort, those type of things, depending on the tier that you join. Some examples of this would be, I feel like Seamwork Magazine was probably one of the first ones that had something like this. So, some again, a pattern every single month. With Seamwork, they give you credits, so you can use those on past patterns as well as current ones. I've actually been a member of that one since they started the Seamwork Magazine. And I have a really good price on that because I was grandfathered in. But yeah, I still have that and have a ton of I need to be making more of those patterns. Speaking of economical sewing, but that would be one example. Another one would be Charm Patterns, which is Gertie. She has a subscription service that's through her Patreon. So a little different, but not much. You get a free pattern or it's PDF, all PDF patterns. I think depending on your tier, you can get a certain percentage off of her printed patterns when she prints them out. I think you get one free pattern that's not part of the, that's like one of her regular releases, a PDF throughout the year. She just has a whole bunch of things. But yeah, you get access to a free pattern that's only released through her Patreon, and that could be a brand new pattern, that could be an extension for an existing pattern, it could be, all sorts of different things. But then she does like a live Q&A depending on your tier, where you can ask her questions. She does, things like that. And then another one, and I'm sure there's many more, is the Cashmerette Club that was new this year. So Gertie, I think, started hers last year in 2021, I think. The beginning of 2021, and I'm a member of that one. And I also am a member of the Cashmerette Club that started this year, so at the beginning of this year. Now, do I need to be a member of all of these? Probably not, and I probably, speaking of economical sewing and being financially sound, I probably need to reassess what I want to be a part of. But Cashmerette ticks all of the boxes. I've spoken on here before as well about, and again, I'm sure there's many more pattern companies that do stuff like this, so this isn't just a push. In fact, I'm not a affiliated with any of these, I get nothing if you click on any of these links today. If there is an affiliate link below, though, I do denote that so you do know. You know, like Love Notions Patterns, I am affiliated with that. I do get commission for that. But none of this stuff am I affiliated with. I just think that done correctly, that these subscription plans can be an excellent investment and really, really help you. And this is why. So Cashmerette started theirs, and again, I'm just using Cashmerette because that's what I'm talking about with these two patterns today. But Cashmerette started theirs back in the spring, and they have a tiered program as well. So I was a basic member, which is just the bottom tier, which meant I got a free PDF, or not a free, you pay for it obviously in the subscription, but I got a PDF every single month when they were released. Now, some of these could be brand new patterns that are just released for the club. Other of these are add-ons for existing patterns, or they're a pattern in and of themselves, or they can be mixed and matched with some of their other patterns as well. And this is why I think that this is such a good deal. When you are sewing for yourself, I highly recommend finding pattern companies that fit your body well, that have to do the minimal amount of alterations. It's just a more pleasing experience. Not to say that you shouldn't branch out to other companies on occasion, but so you have a couple of tried and true pattern companies that you know you could go to one of their patterns, do these, couple of tweaks, and know that they're gonna fit you really, really well. For me, just with my body style, those companies for me are Cashmerette, Itch to Stitch, Love Notions, and Pattern Emporium. I've had some good luck with those fitting. I do have to do a couple more tweaks to those, but I just find that those fit me well. Now for you, or for my daughter for instance, Closet Core Patterns and Deer and Doe fit her really, really well. I have to do a little bit more work to those, especially in the pants on both of those companies. I have to do a lot of work for those to fit me well, but for her, I have to hardly do anything, just because the sloper they use is very similar to her figure, like her proportions. Apparently. But it could also be Big Four. Some people love the Big Four patterns, the commercial patterns, Butterick, McCall's, Vogue, but that could also be that your proportions are very similar to the fit model that they use, so you don't have to do very many alterations. I have to do a lot of alterations to those pattern companies, which can be worth it. I can do that kind of stuff. It just kind of depends, but yeah. Find some pattern companies that work well for you, and if they do offer a subscription service like this, I would highly recommend jumping on that bandwagon, because I have found, especially with this Cashmerette service, that I am using the patterns that I have a lot more. So they take the guesswork of pattern hacking out for you. So I don't even need to worry about, hacking my Montrose to have different sleeves, because they release the Alton. And so I've got, I can use different sleeves from that, and it can mix and match. Same thing with the Carlisle t-shirt. That can all mix and match with the Concord t-shirt, of which I also have. The Gilmore skirt that they released, that also can go back and forth with the Upton, which was a pattern they already had, to make many different options. So now all of a sudden, I'm not only getting these patterns every month, but now I'm stretching my pattern catalog that I had before. So it can be a great way to do that. And also, I'm also finding that what I pay per month for Cashmerette for the basic, so the basic is you just get the PDF that is that month, and you don't have access to the back catalog. Although I've been a member since the beginning, so I've just gotten each one. But if you were to join now at basic, you would not have access to back patterns. I think only the all access tier has back patterns from previous ones. So just, keep that in mind. But yeah, it expands the patterns that I'm using that much more. And I just think that is a great and economical way of going about sewing. On that note, I was contacted by Cashmerette to see if I would like to be a contributor for 3 of their club patterns. They're 3, and I think it's the next 3 releases starting in this month. I could be wrong. Anyway, obviously I'm not going to tell you about the next 2, but this month is the Stanton. They have released an expansion pack for the Stanton. And you all know that the minute I looked at that email and they listed the patterns that they were going to be releasing and if I'd be interested in, I got them early. So I was given these patterns early to make up so that they could have the pictures for the release. So if you saw the release of the pattern yesterday, you would have seen, you know, some of mine, presumably. I'm filming this a little early, but that's what I signed up to do, to make them up and to send them their way. I got the patterns, obviously, but I also got the all access club membership level. So I'm very excited about digging into that, because Jenny from Cashmerette does some master classes and does all like pattern hacking, all that kind of stuff. So I'll report back my review on that. So I do have all access pass now. That was kind of my payment for doing this for them. And I'm very, very excited about that. And I can't wait to report back once I've dug into it a little bit. But when I saw that they were doing an expansion for the Stanton, I could not have replied yes to that email fast enough. So this month there are 2 separate expansions that go along with the Stanton. And again, I'm filming this a few days early, so I'm not entirely sure the deal, but my guess is that they would be selling the Stanton to club members at a reduced rate right now as well, so that you could make it up with these extension, because you do need the base pattern in order to do the extensions. But they have released a dress and a quarter zip option instead of the hood. I tell ya, I was gonna put that pattern away for a little bit, but these are both just so good. So I'm gonna talk you through both of these, and then we'll wrap things up, because I know I've been chatting a long time. Okay, so this is the dress version. Basically, it is the Stanton, but instead of, so it's got the kangaroo pockets here in the front, it's got the hood here as well, and then instead of the bottom band, you know, being here, there is an extension for the dress, and then there's a bottom band here at the dress. Let's come closer, shall we? Okie dokie. All right. So this fabric, this is a See You at 6 French Terry. I tell you, that is one of my favorite combinations. The See You at 6 French Terry with the Stanton is a marriage made in heaven. Now, I got this fabric from Style Maker. They were having a, this is like back in January. I'll try and get down low here. They were having a 15% off their clearance and remnant section of their website, and I bought quite a few things, and this fabric was one of them. So they had, gosh, maybe like 1.5 yards of this fabric that I've been eyeing for quite some time too. And also you'll see why this terracotta is totally coming into my fall wardrobe. Like, it's everywhere. The terracotta and then this kind of teal color. Like, my whole rack back here is like coming into focus without even planning. So that's always a good sign. But they also had some of the matching ribbing on that. And some of the matching solid French terry was also in that as well. I grabbed another solid French terry and then another print at the same time, and then I think I bought the matching ribbing. Like, it wasn't in the sale, but I just went ahead and bought the matching ribbing so I would have it to do like a little 2-piece set. So actually I have quite a bit of this color, this terracotta, still left, so that might become something in my, it probably will become something in my fall plans, so stay tuned for that. But I just love how everything goes so well together. So I did the inside of the hood, back up, the inside of the hood in the solid that coordinates, and then the yoke pieces in the solid, just so it made sense with the, you know, it pulls that color out. But the color of this really is, it's like the outline and the flowers here. So yeah, I wanted it to make sense. And then this is the kind of a mint green shoelace that I used for my daughter's Stanton, her hoodie. I think I went with this color. I'm pretty sure. And I get them off Amazon. It's a shoelace. They make the best drawstrings. I'll link them down below. Anyway, it goes so well with the kind of the greens and stuff that we've got going on in here. And the background is like a vanilla creamy color. It's not white. So it's like perfect for what I'm going for in my color palette. Anyway, I mean, how often am I gonna wear this dress? Like, all the time. I love it with the tennis shoes. It's just such a cute pattern. And I mean, we all know how I feel about the Stanton, and now I have it in dress form. So if you saw Tuesday's video, I'm really, you know, I'm gonna make a dress out of one of the fabrics that I've got. And I think I'm gonna make like, I may make an Olympia too, actually, now that I have this on, because this pattern comes with sleeves as well. So it's like the Olympia, the Title, both from Love Notions, or the Pattern Emporium Wanderlust dress. but maybe another one of these. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's just a hug. You're wearing a hug. Okay, so that is the first release of the expansion pattern. And then the second one is a quarter zip neck, which is just delightful. So the same sale that I got this fabric in, I also grabbed some CU6. I love the CU6 ribbing, it's so lovely. But they had randomly this kind of a pale blue color, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna use that for, but I'm just gonna grab it because it was a really good price, and I mean, it was a remnant of it. And I love it with this color because it's, I mean, yeah, it goes really well. All right, so this fabric I bought specifically for this pattern when I was asked to do this. This has it's basically the Stanton. It's got the kangaroo pocket and everything. It just comes with the stand-up neck with the zipper as opposed to the hood. But I grabbed this, like a teddy bear, I think it's called Sherpa, faux Sherpa, but it's a cotton fleece, a faux Sherpa fleece, which I had never seen before, and it is delightful. So it has on one side, I guess I can show you kind of, it's like smoother on one side and then has the texture on the other, and I wanted the texture on the outside for that look. Used a navy blue zipper from my stash. I had some left over. Oh my gosh, what is the name of my, it's an itch a stitch dress that I made. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. But this cotton stuff jersey, I had just enough to do, I used it for the lining of my pocket as well, just so it would be a little bit lighter weight. And then I used, for the binding on the inside of the collar, some fold over elastic to finish that off in a bright pop of green. My daughter helped me pick out which color to use there. But I tell ya, I mean, is this not going to be worn a ton? Yes, yes it is. Also in my color palette, it's a little more muted than maybe the colors that I typically wear, as far as the color is in my palette, but it's just a little not as clear as maybe my best colors, but I think it's just gonna look so snuggly and warm and work really well. So very excited about it. And I'm really pleased. First I'm like, how am I gonna find ribbing to match that? But then I held those up together and I'm like, that actually, I really like that. So that works really well. So done and done. So there we have it. Although, because I debated making another one of these as well with one of those fabrics from Tuesday, but I think I am gonna go with the Bainbridge, the Itch to Stitch Bainbridge, just for something a little bit different. But yeah, this expansion is fabulous. So if you've been on the fence about a Cashmerette Club membership, I mean, just the basic one, if you buy it now, would get you this extension, this pattern extension, and as well as, I'm pretty sure, access to, at a reduced rate, the Stanton will be on sale to club members. So anyway, definitely grab that if you are as big of a fan of the Stanton as I am. I'm clearly a huge fan. What does this make for me? I've made my daughter one, and then I've made myself a hooded sweatshirt, a hooded jacket, a regular sweatshirt without a hood, another hooded sweatshirt with the butterflies, and then these two. I've made the Stanton 7 times. Yeah, I think, yeah, yep. I love it. And I don't repeat patterns that often, but having a moment again with this one. But yes, definitely go grab that. And on that note, we're going to be talking a lot this month more about using, you know, things that we already have and that sort of thing. And I know I wanted to talk about sewing books a little bit because I know a lot of us have sewing books. I find them very inspirational. I love a good sewing book. But on Sundays, I'm going to be walking through some different simple pattern hacking that you can do to any pattern, but I thought simultaneously, I'm going to make all those patterns that I'm doing pattern hacking out of one book. And so I got this book not that long ago. This is the Cashmerette Ahead of the Curve. Again, not affiliated at all. But I've been wanting to make these patterns up. So I'm like, that's a good idea. Let's use a book, and it doesn't have to be Cashmerette. It can be any of the sewing books that you have, and use that for the basis of our pattern hacking in September. Obviously, all the different hacks I'm going to be doing are things you could do on any pattern, so yeah, they're not strictly this, but I thought it'd be a great way to maybe encourage us all to use these patterns that we get out of these pattern books, because it's a great price. What I paid for this book, and I get 5 patterns, is an excellent price. And 5 printed patterns. I mean, I'm gonna have to trace them off because I don't want to cut into them. But I don't think they have to be traced off though. Some of the pattern books, you have to trace them off. Yeah, this just had, well, it's gonna have printed on the back though, isn't it? Yeah, so you do have to trace them off because you've got patterns on the front and on the back, which is a little annoying, but put on some good music, a podcast, put a movie on, and just trace them all out. It should be good to go. Okay, I hope that this was an exciting video for you and kind of gave you some food for thought on the sewing subscription clubs, if that's something you've been on the fence about. A great way to learn some new skills, as well as have access to a new pattern each month, and then have help in hacking or having different extension type patterns to add on to those. Again, I'm not affiliated with any of these companies, just something I want to pass on as food for thought if you were looking at a way to make your pattern stash go the distance for you. All right, on Sunday, we'll be doing a pattern hack with one of the dresses from the Ahead of the Curve book. Again, it's a hack that you could do on any pattern or any dress pattern or bodice. We're working on the bodice, so any of that kind of thing. And then on Tuesday, actually both videos next week, Tuesday and Friday, we're gonna be talking about fall wardrobes. So we're gonna be doing my friend Jenny. I'm gonna take you all the way through the process, and I've created the fall capsule checklist. Same thing from summer, but this is gonna be for the fall one. And so I'll be showing you how she's gonna be filling hers out. And then on Friday, I'm gonna show you how I'm filling mine out. But you wanna make sure that you are subscribed to the newsletter, because that free PDF will go out with the newsletter on next Thursday night. So my newsletter goes out every other week, and it goes out on Thursday evening, and then you have early access to Friday morning's video, as well as occasionally I send free stuff out, such as the fall capsule checklist. So you want to make sure that you sign up for that newsletter before Thursday next week, and I will leave the link down below for you to go do that. All right, that's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, that you get some sewing in, and it's National Sewing Month, so let's just really celebrate the hobby of sewing this month. And yes, definitely get some sewing in. If you're in the US, it is a holiday weekend, so make sure you're at your sewing machine a little bit, just to have some time to recharge yourself creatively. And I will see you guys again on Sunday. Bye.